Hello there YouTube, I'm Wheelchair21 and on today's rolling review we are looking at the Bandai Super Mini-Pla set for Denji Sentai Megarangers, Galaxy Mega, and Delta Mega Mechas. Now, in America, this is better known as Power Rangers in Space. You have your Astro Megaship and you have the Delta Megazord, which combine to be the Astro Delta Megazord. This is the top of the box of our case, which holds both of our mechas and model kits that we'll be building. The side of the box here just shows some more promotional artwork for our combinations. This side shows our Galaxy Mega, and then we have back artwork with just the logos, and then Delta for your exterior retail case. Then as for our interior packaging, the mechas are separated into two boxes. First off, we have Galaxy Mega, the main titular mecha or Megazord for our Senshi or Rangers. The box art is very resemblant of the original 97 toy, where it now, instead of having the deluxe toy, it now has the Mini-Pla and features the logo for this line. But overall, it's very similar to that box. On the side, we actually have the information and stats for our Mega Shuttle, Mega Ship, and Galaxy Mega, which is a nice, cool added feature that I think most of the original deluxe toys did feature, but I can't be too sure since I've never owned many of the Japanese Sentai Mecha boxes, but it's a nice element that I like about these releases. And then on the back, we have basic promotional artwork and capabilities for showing its articulation, as well as the abilities to store its weapons or its vehicles in its combined forms. And now we come to Delta Mega, which obviously still invokes its original deluxe box, which it's great to have, especially not having grown up in Japan or being Japanese, and having that box where I'm used to the American one where it's just the toys plastered on the front with nice spatial artwork, and that's practically about it. I do like the variety of colors used for the Delta Mega box, and I love the fact that it use a lot of the promotional images from Bandai, and on the back features our actual stats for the mecha, whereas when we had the Galaxy Mega, it was on the sides, and it still shows that it becomes Super Galaxy Mega throughout the box. So pretty much it's a pretty standard box, but it's something I really do enjoy about these releases that make it stand out nevertheless as being something special and more limited edition than the regular retail Mini-Plas that we get on a yearly basis. After a couple of days painting and assembling the kits, this is what you have for your Galaxy Mega and Delta Mega Super Mini-Pla set. Now, for the sake of this review, I'm not entirely finished with my customization of it, meaning I have to fix a few spots where I screwed up and scratched the paint, or had a few of the actual areas I still need to finally sand down and whatnot, which are stopping me to apply some of the stickers, but not all of the stickers, as you can obviously see. I'm just missing parts for the shield and the sword right now, since, like I said, I do need to do minor touch-ups. But for the sake of the review, we have what we need, so let's get on with it. So first off, we have our three mecha, or our three vehicles, which is your shuttle, your actual mega ship, your actual Delta Megazord or Galaxy Mega, and they look splendid whether painted or not. Honestly, I think with the paint that I used, which was a Krylon Silver Aluminum, it turned out really nice. There are a few issues though, because it is a Krylon, it's a little bit thicker than some of your Japanese modeling paints that are a little bit thinner and easier to work with, and it does cause for a few issues with the overall mold and application of your design and joints and assembly, but overall, that's just a knock towards what I chose to use rather than what I could have done. So let's get right into our base pieces. With the little shuttle, it comes with the actual launch pad or launch jettison thruster, which doubles as our gun for Galaxy Mega when it's fully, transformed. You can see here that the piece comes right off. You have your cannon piece or your barrel piece, and then you have your handle stuck right in here. Hollow part underneath, which is kind of a knock towards this overall part, but it's nice, it's cool, and it's mildly enjoyable. High-end customizers can easily just fill it in with modeling clay and whatnot and plaster, but you know what, I'm just gonna leave it base as is because I'm not good with that stuff just yet. And here we have our basic Mega Shuttle, which honestly looks good. There are some base stickers on it, and it's not all just basic blues and white plastics. Like I said, on the back here we have some blue stickers, and on the front we have a few stickers, one for the actual windshield and one little black sticker right here. The actual cool thing about Super Mini-Pla is the fact that faces come pre-painted, and luckily enough, the Krylon that I used almost matches the silver used for the face of Galaxy Mega and the same silver used for Delta Mega. And I do like the added detail of the eyes, if people can see it glistening on the camera and lens. So that's one thing I do like. Luckily, with the actual mega ship right here, it does actually open up the feet area here, like in the actual show, where it does have to become the area for the head, and you can still apply it inside the little holding bay. I do like the fact that there is this holding bay still, like the deluxe toy, which actually makes it really cool. Now, there are a few issues with it, whether it is painted or not, where some of the parts just kind of don't line up at times due to how the overall mold is and how, it's in figure as well as a nice model kit. So you do have times where the feet don't want to properly line up or lock into place. You have times where the waist itself and the thighs and the hips don't want to line up to make it look all one solidified, locked-in mechanism. And even on the bottom, the arms can kind of swivel and rotate and just move all around, since they're actually supposed to move more articulately than your original deluxe toy. And as you can see, like I said, you do see minor nub marks left due to just how I decided to paint the thing and how I trimmed or didn't shave it properly. So I can always just touch it up later. But overall, for your base thing, I do think it looks alright, and I do like the minute stickering details, whether it's on the red kneecaps, your overall waist, and your chest, as well as your feet, or should I say, the front of your ship. Whereas with Delta Mega, I think it turns out really fine in a transition from deluxe toy to a Super Mini-Pla, at least when it is in the vehicle form. In the vehicle form, it is utterly splendid, and I do like the fact that the pinstripes here are pre-painted. However, it did cause for some minor issues when masking and having to clean off the residual effect of the silver paint, but I digress. What I do like, though, are the stickers that really highlight the bottom of the feet, as well as the interior under the actual flaps here, or the actual fins that help jettison it through space. I do think, though, when we do get to the actual mecha form, the paint did hurt some of the actual assembly of the interior for the thighs / the shoulders when it becomes Super Galaxy Mega, but I also think it's the overall engineering as well, because as you can see, it looks, like I said, spot on to your overall deluxe toy, with just a few minute details and changes to the overall engineering and design of your, limbs. So let's get into our actual robots at hand. And I'm just going to jump past the transformation sequence, since it practically lines up with the original 90s toys. Now, starting off with Galaxy Mega in its robot form, it looks splendid, and it looks like it literally jumped off the show. This looks almost spot on to the suit, with minute features of articulation being very noticeable in the overall model kit, but it does feel very representative of the show, and I am grateful for it. Now, what I do love about this is the fact that, being a Super Mini-Pla, it is highly articulated and incredible due to the extent of range of motion. It features like almost a figure art level here, with an actual ball-jointed ankle and a joint here for the additional turn for when it's in, its actual vehicle mode. You have like these weird hinged knees. Like, I love it. It looks cool. It's, I think, supposed to be a double-jointed knee, and it's really just impressive that there's actually, two joints running through it. You actually have a thigh swivel. You actually have the skirts that move better than a Gundam high grade. You can rotate up. You can rotate out. You can just do a whole lot with this model kit that you really can't do with any other figure at hand. You have your shoulder, which tends to pop in and out, and the arms tend to pop off the socket, but it's not really a big problem, since you do have an actual elbow. You have I guess you would say you have an elbow, you have a bicep swivel, you have a shoulder swivel that goes up and down, and you have wrist articulation here, which I do like, as the arm continuously flies off the handle for me. The one thing that I don't really like is the actual neck articulation, because it just kind of goes back to back, side to side, and it has a really wonky one right here, which doesn't look really great or accurate or realistic due to how it overly exposes the underjaw of the chin. So when you're trying to do like flight poses, it just looks really weird. It looks kind of bad. It just looks kind of ugly overall, as the body moves kind of jankily around due to how the joints work and how the paint is running and causing frictional issues. But overall, I do think it is a very nice stoic figure once you get it posed in the right angle or in the right direction. For his accessories, we do have the actual gun, which is great. I like it. I think with the added feature of chroming it out rather than leaving it base gray, it really stands out and looks pretty sexy, I may add. As for the shield, it still needs to have a sticker applied. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because it wasn't cut out accurately, and I need to just kind of trim around the edges so it nicely fits in here, as well as I plan to just get the brim of the shield painted in silver to match the basic silver sticker. What I might try to do is use the excess of the non-used silver from the actual sticker sheet and try to layer it around if there's enough to work my magic, but I doubt that. And finally, we have its pretty sexy sword, which honestly I do like with the silver than the base gray, because there has been weird plastic issues with Galaxy Mega where there's weird like swirls left in the overall die and how it was blended and molded and digitally, you know, made from the manufacturer. So it's not that great, and all I have to really do is just clean it up, maybe give it a top coat one more time, and put an actual sticker on both sides, and then you'll have a perfected saber. And it does tend to get stuck in the hand from time to time. It just doesn't want to come out, and it kind of becomes kind of annoying. But luckily, since there were times where it held the sword at the very end of the hilt and threw it like a javelin or threw it like a whip, it looks sort of accurate at this time, since I just need it to look aesthetically nice for just a moment before going over to our Delta Mega. Delta Mega is pretty spot on, with the added articulation making it look way more amazing than the original deluxe toy, which kind of was a hefty, blocky SOB with angles. He was pretty much just really annoying as a kid. Like, I didn't like the deluxe toy. While I liked the suit on screen, I liked how it worked on the show, the overall deluxe toy was rather lacking and made me love the little micro play set a whole lot more. Now, with this having the added articulation, it is honestly incredible, and I really do love a lot of the features it possesses, like having the actual ankle tilt, which is really cool, having the really weird knee joint down towards his ankle. Like, this looks really weird and wacky, since you can see the entire, like, forearm of Super Galaxy Mega / Astro Delta Megazord, and it tends to pop out since it's on a peg joint. Like, that's the one thing I don't necessarily like about this, is the peg joint, and it kind of gets rather annoying and obnoxious, and due to how it connects the thighs to the back of the mecha or the butt of the mecha, they tend to actually kind of get stuck and don't really glide well, mostly due to the paint. However, the engineering is slightly a problem, as I've talked to friends who have this set and who have not customized it, say that at times the thighs do get a little stuck due to the suction to the back and how it works on hinges to become your Super Galaxy Mega or your Astro Delta Mega ship, or Astro Delta Megazord, because of just how it works on the special hinge here that doubles as your hip and then works as your overall shoulder piece when it combines to the mecha. Like, it just kind of gets really obnoxious at times, I've heard, because it just doesn't want to move properly and gets locked into place real well. But overall, it's not that big of a problem. It does lose, I think, the waist articulation that Galaxy Mega has, but it does have wide range in knees, it has ankles, and it has the nice arms, which I really do like, having a more accurate elbow joint and shoulder joint to the toy, because one thing that is great about this set are the additional added finger joints or finger hands that I like. I like in the show that it actually was able to move its hands, and they weren't just little basic, you know, cannon fingers. Like, these actually move around and look great and amazing, and I overtly love it. It's just cool, and it's nice to have, and it's a better display piece than just, you know, his basic little shooting fingers when he's going pew, 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 pew. I do like the fact that the head is really well painted. It looks great. It looks amazing. And I really always have often loved its weird, like, shades that it has for eyes. And I do just overtly love how this has turned out, even though, like, a bit of the engineering and a bit of the paint make the thighs a little too tight and worry for wear. But overly, it's just spot on. It's just nice. It makes for a little nice display piece in general. Now, Super Mini-Pla, Super Galaxy Mega, or the Astro Delta Megazord looks splendid. It really stands out real well and just works great due to the fact that the Galaxy Mega underbody really is a good basis for a lot of its range of articulation, whether it be in the legs and the overall waist, whereas the Delta Mega's feet give it the good stability and ankle joint it requires. On top of that, its legs switch from being really good leg days to really great arm days. However, there are a bit of pros and cons to the overall engineering. Now, unlike the original deluxe toy, the back is a little bit more straightforward and doesn't cause stability issues where like it would start unpegging the heads from each other. In this one kind of just nicely sits back here and doesn't peg right into the head of Delta Mega like the original toys did. This one just plugs right into your back. The arms just kind of stay on the back here as additional thrusters, but they are free range and free motion. They don't really lock into place, and they can move about and hinder your overall front. But the front here does have, like I said, some minute issues, mostly in moving the shoulders, moving them from left to right, outwards and inwards, spinning it back and forth like a regular arm. But the overall elbow seems to move the best, as well as your overall forearms rotation for when it does its overall missile punch to defeat your monsters. Now, the joints are a little tight, whether painted or not painted, but they still fly off to recreate the purpose at hand of, the attack. And one thing I do naturally like that I'm wanting to take one moment to focus on is the overall sticker to the chrome face. I think they work well. They don't really clash against each other as bad as I thought they would for the sticker here that has the 5 colors of the Mega Rangers and most of the crown of the back of the Delta Mega head. But it does what it needs to do, and I think that overall this design really does work, whether it is hindered a bit by the overall engineering or the thicker paint that I used. So for my final evaluation on this set, I think it's great to get if you can get both together as a set, if you can afford it, and drop like the $70 to, import it into North America. Or if you want to be patient and wait for its release through Bluefin Tomashi's distribution and probably get it at Barnes & Noble, you can split it up. You don't have to necessarily get both right away. You can get one kit for like its $25 to $30 range and the other one later, which is a nice added feature. Hopefully, though, it won't have the manufacturing problem that mine had, where the plastic just looks really weirdly dyed in contrast and has like these weird swirls throughout it. So I just thought use a nice aluminum / Krylon silver to, in a sense, make it more uniform so it doesn't look so obnoxiously whack and like sparkly and swirled out of its mind. And I do think that others might have better suggestions for that choice of paint, but I think mine turned out just all right with the silver aluminum. But there are probably better ideas out there. But overall, as the individual pieces, they flow real well. Combined, they're pretty sturdy. They don't have a lot of the issues I seem to have had with the deluxe toys growing up. And I think that Bandai is really coming into their own when it comes to the Super Mini-Pla Super Sentai releases. I think Kaku Ranger have been some of the best thus far, as well as Mega Ranger right now. But since it's not a complete set and we're still missing Mega Voyager and Mega Winger, one can only hope that those two follow suit after we get our Jetman with Jet Icarus and Jet Garuda. So overall, you can get it at a variety of places: CS Toys Japan, Ami, Hobbylink Japan, or distributors in North America like Big Bad Toy Store, or maybe finding it in a Barnes & Noble. So if you love Mega Ranger or you love Power Rangers in space, as well as you love these mecha, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to me, Wheelchair21. Follow me on Twitter, over on Instagram and Facebook, and check out the site HeroClub.com. And I'll see you all next time with another rolling review and maybe even Doyle's DVDs.